Hey everybody, got a new video for you today with a new robot lawnmower. This is my first look at any new robot lawnmowers in person this season. This is from Mova. It's a brand I was unfamiliar with until September of last year when I went to Berlin to the IFA event. I saw Mova there and they had some really impressive devices, and I met them again when I was at CES this past January. Really impressive devices, and not just robot lawnmowers. They got a whole line of products that are really impressive. And so I want to do a quick unboxing of this. This is their Lidax Ultra 2000. So they have a 1000 model, and the difference between the two mainly is going to be how much acreage you can do or how much property you can mow in one shot. So the 2000, we can get half an acre, and the 1000, you get a quarter of an acre. The cutting heights and ranges and things like that, aside from area you can mow, are the same. You can cut, get this open again. I forgot to bring a pocket knife, so I'm using my adapters here to open the boxes. But as far as the cutting height, it can cut down to 1.2 inches, and it'll go up to just under 4 inches at 3.9 inches. And then our cutting width, we're getting an 8-inch wide cutting path. So that's how wide it's gonna cut as it goes across the space. And as the name kind of implies, the Lidax, we are working with LiDAR here. So that means we don't have any additional hardware. We don't have to mess with any antennas, anything like that, to get our location and object recognition and stuff like that while it's at mowing. So it's really nice. The LiDAR is starting to come around and be a bit more common, and that's a great thing. As long as the technology continues to evolve and the brands using it continue to support it. But that's kind of nice because it reduces the amount of hardware you have to deal with. There are some drawbacks to LiDAR, but overall in most situations, for most people, it's gonna be a great option. So let's get this unboxed and see what we got here. This is gonna be an issue with all the wind out here. This is also my first time unboxing anything from Mova, so I'm kind of excited, kind of interested to see how they package their stuff up. It's always kind of interesting to see the choices these brands make when it comes to putting products in the boxes and the materials they use, stuff like that. I always think it's interesting how much care they put into it. I think it says a lot about the product itself when it is well presented and packaged. It doesn't mean it has to be fancy, having any kind of crazy materials. I'm just talking, let's not use the cheap plastic stuff anymore. I'd like to get rid of. I'm a little disappointed to see we have styrofoam. It's great for packing and keeping it protected and everything. I'd rather see recycled cardboard or something like that to take care of that situation. But otherwise, we're pretty well packed in here. Let's take the mower itself out right there. Here's our mower. Again, Mova Lidax Ultra 2000. And we got the dock, the under half of the dock in here. Right here. There's our dock. All right, let's see. I think we should have it all. Yep, that's it. All right, let's put this stuff back in here before it blows away. So we've got our book here, our user manual on how to get everything set up and started. We're gonna leave that in the box, so we're not gonna need that today. We do have a quick start guide, so put this on top of everything. It talks about what you got in the box and recommendations for getting it set up and get everything put together. We've got a guide on the bottom for measurements to help you make sure you get the correct distances from things. So I'm gonna set this here. All right, so inside the box, we've got our charging dock here, or the charging pad anyhow. We get our ground stakes for securing the dock to the ground. Looks like a cleaning cloth for our LiDAR. Get some extra replacement screws and blades. Nice screwdriver for that. This is a fun little brush, but this is actually gonna go right here. This is the other part of our charging dock with the contacts for the charger, but it snaps in right here and is actually used to keep the LiDAR module clean and keep it protected. So it's kind of a fun way to do that. I got our cable here, charging adapter right there, and then of course, the mower itself. Quick look at this. Remove protection pieces here so things don't get messed up. We got one on both sides. Grab this one too. Stick those in a pocket because those are gonna blow away. All right, so we've got the Mova Lidax 2000 Ultra. We got Ultra View 2.0. Right here we got our LiDAR cover. Nice rubber cover right there. This is the first time I've seen a LiDAR that wasn't the iridescent oil spill color looking thing right there. But here we go. Nice big wheels on the back. Ultra trim edge on this. So let's see what we got underneath here. Right there. There is our mower deck. Single deck, 3 blades, free spinning wheels. So we're just rear wheel driven here. That's what we've got with that. We got our cover here. Open that up. We got a dial, physical dial, and a screen. Yep, push down for select there. Got our giant stop button. Here's our rain sensor. That's what we got. Let's get this thing put in the ground, or on the ground. All right, so I got this spot here. I'm gonna set it up. I used a mower here last year that was not LiDAR, and it did have an RTK antenna, so hopefully this works. Ideally, you want a perfectly flat space, so I may prove myself wrong and have to move this later, but I'm gonna try this out here and see how it does. Now, we're gonna attach this to the ground, and they provide us all of our spikes here. It does come with a tool to drive these in the ground. However, I'm not gonna use that. I'm gonna go with the power tool and take care of this a little quicker. It is an 8mm hex key, or if you don't have an 8mm, you got a 5/16, that will get you as well, because we're not driving anything crazy hard here, just into the ground. And we've been getting a lot of rain lately, so the ground is quite wet and soft right now, so should have no troubles putting these in. All right, so we got that on. Let's go ahead and attach our brush here. Slide that in, nice and easy. That should just snap right in. Lay it up. Snap in. There it goes. Got that down. This little brush. All right, let's get this plugged up. Because I've got an extension cord right here, I don't have to run this very far, so I'm gonna leave that tied up just like that is. Hook these together. So it is water resistant. We got waterproof connectors here. This is just a snap fit, which is also the first time I've seen that. Usually they're a screw on to keep those 2 points secure, but that's snapped in there. Actually reminds me a lot of the MC4 connectors. If you've ever had to connect solar panels, it's really similar to that kind of connection. So good, solid connection, waterproof and everything. All right, got it plugged up. We got power. Take off our little cover there. And we're turning on. That's it. All right, let's see what we can get done and set up here. Open up. All right, so we got our dial, which is a button. So select English. We will change this later. Get our pen started here. All right, now we're in. All right, this is familiar. This looks a lot like the interface for the Dreamy A1 mower I tested. Got all of our settings here in the menu. Change pin, mowing height. This is what we're talking about later. Looks like we've got it set in centimeters in here, so I don't know if we can change that later, but if not, we can convert, not a big deal. Setting, schedule, modes. So that's it. I'll get it connected to the app and it's testing as soon as weather warms up and we can start having some grass growth here. But anyways, that's it. We'll get it unboxed, we got it set up, so now it's ready to put it in the app and get some mapping done so we can mow as soon as we can. So stay tuned to the channel. I'll have the review on that coming shortly. We got lots more videos coming up, so stick around.